Good morning. It's Grannywitch 73, and I'm doing my juice this morning. This is my prep work. It's the leftover peels and seeds and whatnot. Okay, I wanted to put this out there because, everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to prefer a different juice. This is just what I've come to prefer because this is day 6 of the juice fast, semi-juice fast. And I've got in here cabbage, celery, apple, and cucumber. And that's it. Simple as that. 4 ingredients. And all of this will go into here. And then it will give me 24 ounces of juice. Maybe a little bit more, because I put a little extra of the celery in here today because there was the last of it, so I had to go pick up some more later. But I wanted everybody to see how much vegetables goes and fruit, because there's 4 apples here, so goes into just making 24 ounces of juice, because a lot of people, especially now, can't really afford the fresh produce. Sure as heck, if you're like me, there's no way I'm paying $5.99 for a small bunch of celery. So I get the regular celery. It's not organic, and I wash it really well. And I get regular head of cabbage, and I just cut hunks off of it. This is my head of cabbage, and I've been hacking away at it now for a couple of days. And if you're the type of person who needs to have measurements, I think I use probably about 2 to 3 cups of cabbage, almost an entire stalk of celery, 4 apples, and I try to use 2 cucumbers, but today I only have 1, so I only have 1 cucumber in here. That's the other reason for the extra celery. Okay, now cabbage is really good for detoxing your body. I don't know if anybody out there has heard of the cabbage soup diet, but I know it was a fad and people were just eating straight cabbage soup and blah blah blah, and you know how everything is. Everybody says, oh no, that's not good for you, and then other people say, oh yeah, how could it not be good for you? It's all vegetables. But as with anything, cabbage soup has a million different recipes, and I like cabbage soup. I had no problem feeding it to my kids when my kids were little, because we did not have a lot of money, and I was a single mom, and they hated me for it, but they got their vegetables. So, and you can add anything to it. So anyways, this is about 2 to 3 cups, and cabbage is really good for detoxifying your body. Now, when people say detox, they mean a multiple array of things. In this case, it means you're going to go to the bathroom a lot for a few days. So be prepared for that, because I'm only doing 48 ounces of juice a day. When most people do this, they do a complete juice fast, which means nothing but juice for X amount of days. And, they could have coffee and alcohol and cigarettes and all that stuff, which is great for people if they want to do that. All the power to you. I'm doing this for different reasons, but the effects are the same. Even though I'm only drinking 48 ounces of juice a day, I am still getting a lot of the same effects. I'm still having to be not very far from my bathroom, and thank God, this sounds terrible, but thank God that I don't have to go to work right now because of this crap with the COVID stuff, because I would not make it through a day at work. But today is day 6, and everything has started to slow down. Everything's going back to normal because, as they say, this too shall pass, and I am not having to run to the bathroom every 5 minutes. I'm still going to pee a lot, but the other stuff is become normal again, and it will. Everything will, once your body gets acclimatized to what you're doing to it. When you first start doing, for the first 4 or 5 days, your body's in shock, and it's getting this... It's all getting geared up when it gets the message that food's coming to digest. And when you're drinking your food, you're not digesting. Everything's just kind of going straight through, which is why your body is able to absorb more of the nutrients, because your body doesn't have to work so hard for it. And it does take a couple of days for it click in that that's what's going on. And that, for me, is why I can't just do the pure juice fast, because I have to have protein in my diet because of my situation, and I have to be mindful of my blood sugar, because I have been hospitalized because my blood sugar went too low, and it was really bad. So right now, with everything going on out there in the world, nobody wants to go anywhere near anywhere where anybody is sick or has been sick, especially hospitals or clinics. So this, I suggest to anyone out there getting ready to try this, who's never done it before, start slowly. Start with 24 to 48 ounces of juice in the morning on an empty stomach, and then see how it goes. Figure it out. Let your body figure it out. Everybody's different, so, and if you can, great, go for it. But in my body, it's taken 6 days for everything to happen. Like, now I'm energetic. I'm up at the crack of dawn, as annoying as that is, because I've got the entire day ahead of me, which basically, with right now, I've got to walk the dog, clean the house, and cook. So that's pretty much all I can do. Or, you know, go out and putt around in the garden. But anyways, that's my little rant for the day. So I'm going to juice this, and I will show you what this gets turned into in just a few minutes. That's the sludge that's left over that I was talking about yesterday. Or the day before yesterday, actually. That's what's left over. And you can still drink this stuff. I mean, it won't hurt you. It's just what happens to the vegetables when it gets pulverized in the machine. But it won't hurt. It's just too filling for my stomach, so. Lazy cur. This is my boy. This is Luke. He gets the walks, and he's the reason that I am up at the crack of dawn to take him for his walks, because he thinks, oh, Mom's got some energy, so let's go for a walk now. He's lucky I love him. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, tip. When you're taking all this apart, you need to make sure it's unplugged. And mine glows around here, so I know it's unplugged, but make sure it's unplugged. You do not want this thing accidentally going on with your hand in there. So take it off. You pull this over, take out the plunger. It's not a difficult cleanup. It's just tedious because you have to do it every time you juice. And if you're like some people who just want to get it over with, this is living juice. Oh, the other thing is, this thing will drip for a little while, the spigot, so make sure that you have something down if you're putting this on a surface like your counter or something, because you will get a puddle. Anyways, as I was saying, this is living juice. It is not recommended that you store it for too long. Anything over 24 hours should be thrown out. And you do not want... Well, you wouldn't get any of the benefits from the juice. It would be a waste of your money and your time to juice more than a day ahead of time. So if you are... I do juice as I go. So I juice 24 ounces as I go. So... And I don't mind doing it right now because I don't have anything better to do. But if you're a busy person, you're still working, or when the world gets back to normal, if it gets back to normal and we all go back to work, you can juice your allotment for the day, stored in sealed containers in your fridge, and then, you know, make sure that whatever's not used in that day gets tossed, because you do not want to make yourself sick or whatever. Like I said, even if you don't make yourself sick from it, because bacteria will grow in the living juice if you leave it for too long, even if it's in the fridge. But what's the point of drinking the juice if it's not going to have any benefits, or if it's going to have less benefits? Okay, so the last time I told you, I had this bowl full. It was full of all those vegetables, the cabbage, the celery, the cucumber, and the apple. Now, I told you about cabbage. Cabbage is a detoxifier, but celery is an anti-inflammatory, and both are very, very full of liquid. They're full of water, so they're very hydrating to the body. Same with cucumber. Cucumber is very good for puffiness, and it's an anti-inflammatory. That's why, I don't know if they do it anymore, but they used to use cucumber on your eyes. Some people said it was the coolness of the cucumber. Other people swear that there's alkalines in the cucumber that helps the puffiness in the skin reduce. But regardless of why they did it, because it was fancy or whatever, and cucumber was cheap, or because it actually did something, cucumber is a very, very good source of hydration. And if your body is lacking in something, you know, even the doctors will tell you, if you're sick, you need to stay hydrated. So I just watched this documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, I believe it's called. It's basically about the juicing phenomenon. This guy from the UK made it, and he came to the United States to film it. I suggest, if you want, look it up on YouTube. But as with everything, do your research and make your own decisions. Don't do anything based on what I say or what anybody else says. Be your own person. You know, find your own path. Yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so I'm going to show you how this works. So this comes off pretty simple. Straight up. Look at that. That's apple and celery. And there's still a couple of pieces of cabbage that didn't get processed, but we're going to put this in here. All of this goes in here and then goes out into the garden. And this is what it gets turned into. Just like... Now, the wetter the vegetable, the wetter the pulp. I've done this with carrots, and it comes out practically powder. So, this is one nasty. Well, if you don't mind the goo, like, I don't really mind it. I find ways to do this kind of stuff with my grandkids, because I like watching them make faces with kids today. It's so funny. When I was a kid, you go outside, you play in the dirt. Kids today would rather sit in front of a TV and play a video game. Anyway, so this is where all the yuck goes. It goes flying out of here and down into here, and then all the juice comes out down here into this well, and then out the spigot into the jug. But it gets pushed through here, and it's an amazing process. So one of these days, if I can find a way to mount my phone to do this, I'll show you how it works, because it's awesome. First time I did it, me and my 6-year-old granddaughter watched it. She wanted to help, but this thing moves really fast and it's freaky. It does make a lot of noise, some of them. Some of the higher end ones are quieter, but... And some, I forgot to mention, some you can put whole fruits and vegetables in without peeling or whatever, but this one, no. You need to peel your apples, you need to core them, you need to make sure that any pits or anything, if you use like mangoes or something, are removed, because, like I said, this one was only $89, so this was my very first attempt at a juicer. I didn't want to go spending a whole lot of money in case I didn't like it. But they do have, like, you get what you pay for, especially in stuff like this. And like I said, all these pieces are plastic, except for this and the base. The base is the mechanism, but, you know, the rest of it is all plastic, so you get what you pay for. But look at the stuff it does. It's amazing that just a jumble of plastic does all of this and makes this. Alright, well, that's everything for today. Just wanted to show you the leave-ins.